We are recording this class, just so you know. Usually the standard is we write it up on the board somewhere. It says live recording. But we're recording this tonight. Reason why we're recording it is because one of the things that's in your requirement in our rubric is that you capture the process. I'm doing it for you. But I'm not going to be able to get to everybody's reaction and process of dealing with the disruption. So you may want to set up your own system for recording too. I do have a very useful hardware piece called a selfie stick. If you want to use one, and like have that going. Just first dibs. You just gotta.
I'll take it.
All right, you're in. So I know to concentrate on the
Never said no to selfie stick.
Safe, we better safe than sorry.
Yeah, and so that's part of the storytelling. Yes. Oh.
Alex,
Got it.
what's up? What do you guys have? Disruptions? A ton.
Like a million. That's kind of, yep.
A million.
Remember, it should be, just set them up really quick for us so that it's a title of the disruption.
Oh.
And they're just like 2 or 3 sentences.
Alright, everybody title 2. Okay.
The titles don't need to be too extreme.
Wait, are we, we're.
Just your whole group is just gonna send one document to Alan and myself so we can print them up and put them onto cards. Alan, do you want to color code theirs, or do you want to just have theirs be just
Don't worry about the colors. I'm gonna. I just need to know if it's social or economics. I'm gonna put it on the right color card. So yeah, I'm gonna do it in color.
So, as you guys are putting it, it should be a title, and then it should say social, economic, or environmental, whichever one you think it most pertains to, and then just a few sentences. Yeah, so you give them titles.
Also give
Each card a title.
Each card.
Each disruption will have a title, right? So it's like whatever it is, like lakes into fire, and then it says environmental. All of the lakes just got set on fire. Yeah. I hope I didn't tip my hand too much right there.
That's pretty cool.
Alright, I'm calling mine.
Hasn't happened yet?
So we're just getting it set up.
Burn their cities to the ground.
Remember that episode? Yeah.
Darius is.
Boy, this thing. Is...
Go play.
Where do you want to be, Anthony? I was gonna.
Their population is going down.
Where are they? Oh, Molly Peter's sister graduation.
I think Chris is at a college visit or something.
Get it go.
It's tough times for the Golden City.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll be fine. Thanks, Kyle.
So the camera's gonna love you guys. So here we go. Yeah, come on, you're on. You're
Your
being recorded.
tripod's not balanced.
All right, as you guys are finishing up,
It doesn't matter 'cause I can
I'll explain
balance it out anyway.
what we're looking at for process today.
Yeah.
So, the way that this is going to work is that we're going to have a representative from each team come up to the front. You'll do rock, paper, scissors. The winner pulls a card, whichever color card they want. They read it and decide, yeah, we'll take this one and we will create a plan for it, or we're going to give it to the other group because we don't want to work on it.
So we might get some of our own?
No, these ones that you guys are creating, we're gonna have in a separate pile.
Oh, okay.
For later.
Alright.
Then the second group will pull a card and they'll have to use that one. Each group is gonna have, what do we say, Alan, 8 minutes?
Yes.
You're gonna have 8 minutes as a group to plan out how your city is going to address this disruption.
It's not a lot of time.
It's not a lot of time, right? So it's like, it's efficient, it's fast. You need to make sure that within your group you have people recording all of this information, because this is what you guys are gonna sell on Innovation Night, are these pieces of how you guys manage these disruptions in your cities, right?
And what's really important about this is a lot of cities, in their design and in their problem solving, they do games and problem solving in this exact way. And it feels a little awkward, right? We've been planning a city, but it feels a little unclear about what's going on. And so as we approach problems, there'll be some clarity on some systems and some functionality that you might need to attend to a little better than initially done. In some cities around the world, like Guilford, New Hampshire, they did a city plan like this too. It was a village plan, and they had different constituents come to the table and offer different problems from their point of view. And so that's what makes those things really exciting, because you get voices from all different angles, not just politicians, not just bankers. You get all walks of life kind of chime in and helping shape, inform, and think these problems through. Okay? Any questions?
So after your 8 minutes of planning, then your group will have a couple of minutes just to kind of report out the basics of what you've decided to do, just so we can kind of hear as a class, and then we'll go into round 2.
Don't we share disruptions in one?
Please.
And me.
Yeah, Alan O'Brien does.
Yeah, I'm gonna print them.
Right.
Have you shared your disruptions with me yet, and Kyle?
Wait, they know that they're disruptions?
They're designing disruptions for each other,
Oh, got
and
it.
then we've designed some as
Got
well.
it.
And that's what's there. Ryan, I have yours, thank you.
So does anybody have any questions about what the structure today looks like?
No.
We're gonna try to get through as many rounds as we can, we'll see how far we get.
How many are we getting?
We're gonna do a round at a time. So we'll do round 1, whole 1, round 2, round 3. These are the rounds. Alright. Have you guys
Did
shared
someone just
that?
name those?
I have Ryan, so I'm processing his now.
You guys notice that?
I've got to format it so it'll fit on the card.
Are you guys all one group right here?
Yeah.
So I think we decided that we would do these first,
Yeah,
and then
so
we'd add.
I'll get
those
these
in.
guys started on round 1.
Thank you.
Alright, round 1, we need a representative from each city up here.
Rock, paper, scissors?
This is some rock, paper, scissors?
Rock, paper, scissors.
2 out of 3 or 1?
Yeah, can you
One
just
and
ask
done.
me?
No.
Alan, what's your call on that? What do you think?
I say participant's choice, if you want to do the two
I'll
after.
do
I
2 out of 3.
think that's very respectful.
Ready?
Go ahead.
No dynamite, what are you doing?
One.
Hey. 1. There we
Yeah,
go.
Let's go, let's go.
All right.
Moment of truth.
Oh!
Alright, so PJ,
Okay.
you get to pick one, decide if you want
Wait,
to
hold
take
on,
it.
before you pick
That's
colors.
So economic is red, social is blue, green is environmental. So whatever you pick, you choose whether you want to take it and work on it, or you want to give it to this group. So,
I don't get to pick whatever.
So hold on, if they pick one and pass it, they have to take the next one no
Yeah.
matter what. Alright, yeah, I like that. I like that.
Can I work
He
with
sees
Ryan?
through it.
yeah, you're working with Ryan, so you're gonna take it
Oh,
back
this
to your
is a
group.
cool one, okay.
Do we have to read it out loud?
Alan,
Yeah,
I'll
why
send
don't
you
you,
ours.
Alan, well, yeah, we'll have you guys read it out loud.
After constructing the new facility for the new and much hyped about blank team,
We'll say, football team.
the team managers and CEO have fallen into a major disagreement, resulting in the team leaving for another city. City planners are left with a new facility but no one to play in it or pay for it. Several other sports-related businesses are expected to leave the city. City residents are disappointed. Some, like Roger Watson, say, I was getting ready to close on a house in X. However, now that the sports team is pulled out, I'm reconsidering.
So you guys gonna take it or pass it?
Yeah, we'll keep it.
Okay, so you, Ben, come up and pull one for your group then.
Does it have to be?
So any color?
Alright, what do we wanna go
Yeah.
with?
Where you have to take them all.
I think you have to pick a different color next round.
Keep it. Like, hold on to it. So
What?
we can get
Yeah, thank you so much.
Oh, you're so welcome. Like, we can find a bunch of-
Recycling market collapse.
a bunch of it online.
Recyclable materials like glass, plastic, and paper are losing value as their supply source.
Source.
Supply source.
Oh, so as their supplies soar.
Oh, okay. International markets have decided to no longer take those products. The impact on cost of waste management services has doubled in the last month. Workers in waste management are concerned about their job security. In addition, business markets dependent on recovered materials are feeling the impacts as prices drop for their products. Okay.
Alright, so I'm gonna put 8 minutes up on a timer up here. 8, we're gonna try to do more now. So 8 minutes, make sure you are writing down and recording what it is that you guys have for a plan.
I still need disruptions from
And how to
Cuba Benga.
and how to get them back.
No.
Anders.
So that's
I still need your disruption list for these guys.
Windows are no longer meant to
We make
last.
sculptures out of
Yeah,
glass
we
bottles.
could. We could.
We hire a bunch of artists throughout the city.
Hey, use the internet, find what other places have done, right? Look for case studies,
I'm gonna
guys.
say how to reuse glass.
Not like,
Oh no, you can grind it and make it into or cement or something like that.
Anders, who's the team?
Just bend it.
Wait,
Send it again.
Oh yeah, hold on. I was making a new. I got it out.
Cool, thank you.
Hold on. Here you go.
Alright, you got 8 minutes.
Yeah, it's called disruptions for other group. Semicolon or colon.
Good guy.
What team did we decide? Football?
Okay.
See what's being done in the world.
No, glass.
Any recyclable material. What are you gonna do?
Good question, good question.
A lot of research, actually.
I've been more concerned about like job security pushing it, 'cause like all we have
Yeah,
like.
we hire them, they go to, oh, flip on that, yeah, flip on that energy people in like construction workers, if we're gonna turn this on to construction.
All right, remember to address the topic that it is. You guys are both groups are looking at economic issues, right? So you're looking for economic solutions.
No, because no one wants it. There's
Yeah.
abundance
Oh,
of
so
that that no one wants.
Yeah.
It's just.
Yeah, but also.
That's what we're saying, yeah. So, well, that's what we do with glass, though. Glass, we don't have. No plastic, paper. We donate it all to the schools, paper mache. We do paper mache.
Everyone makes little snowflakes.
Like, reusing scrap paper and stuff's like not a bad idea.
Yeah, for paper mache.
I don't know why you're such a paper mache, like writing on it.
Can't you reuse paper? So you wanna write on newspapers now?
It's not just the newspaper, it's any paper.
I think we should do.
It's
I think we
always
should
paper.
have
It's only clean paper.
Yeah, well, the Tim said they let.
Okay, we can have
Just
article.
can't be recycled because they have to.
Yeah, so it's only newspapers, magazines, and like, it's unlimited on that. Or we can just recycle. You can reuse paper.
Like for what though?
But we do like,
You can make
But we don't have a team.
Oh.
It's all about us, like,
Oh, yeah.
people, and then we're starting to like, just
Yeah.
reuse paper instead of newspaper or like.
What if
like
it's
something.
more than 80%?
We use papers. We use.
Oh, yeah, just weigh it out. Oh, yes, we
No,
can.
it's Paul.
Yeah.
Paper, just
we
read
should
it.
like turn into a sponsor call like that.
So we just give them like.
I feel like for our dues.
Sure, whatever you want. Oh, yeah. Like if you don't want to turn that, oh, magazines, actual jobs, we can turn anybody that's doing like waste
people.
in the native glass water, turn it into using.
Another thing, if someone did that.
Yeah, we could do that.
Oh, yeah.
Or,
Stuff to bring it to these, alright, somebody's gotta write this all down. I got it. I'm just gonna go to the bottom of
hopefully with me.
our current thing.
We should just video that.
Yeah.
Yeah, self-esteem, bro.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of
Really,
it
everyone
has like
does
this
that.
wall.
Oh,
It doesn't matter if it's
oh, it
Yeah,
is
well,
just. Nine.
So we have glass.
Hold on.
We have jobs. We have.
Hold on. Oh, shit.
What if we have professional football like X in the past? Some football players come back and coach
So how do we get
citizens
glass?
We don't have. Post this.
Yeah.
It makes people come in, families come in to watch their,
What's
like,
up?
watch their kids or their grandchildren play.
For the granddaughter.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't cut out the
I've
chicks.
never not.
Look up teams that have recently.
Hey, this is also a good time if you guys need to make changes to what your city looks like, right? If the layout of your city needs to change, you need to move things around, right? That might be part of the process that you guys take on as well.
It's not even that, no, we just figured it all out. We just had a, well, no, I'm gonna say it in a. So you need more things that like mail or something. Alright, what else guys, here's our plan.
Like, I'm looking by the Sonics.
No, why is the Raiders on?
This feels like stupid, I feel like we're eating.
And then,
There's not enough
Not wrong.
interest.
well, and then, but that's like not what I was thinking. Now look at why they left. Or, no, what the city's doing with the stadium.
Really?
Well,
But we would definitely that.
Technically, we overcome this as having less things that need to be thrown out or recycled, more things that can be reused.
PJ,
That's not really
here.
us, unless we just.
Plastic
Yeah, we already banned all.
I don't think so. I think all our stuff was on PJ's iPad. We haven't
Yeah,
like
sorry.
sketched on a paper or paper yet.
No, it can be created in the city, but people can create it from the outside.
Okay, so no.
Look at this, if you were, and also
Oh,
we
yeah,
put,
no, I'm throwing it away in the city, get that shit out of here.
I'm also we put,
Make sure you guys are writing it down somewhere. Make sure you have a record somewhere to talk about what your plan is, thinking economics. How do you keep businesses interested, keep businesses in your city?
Print up the other set. How many- 2 minutes?
What is it called when you like remake paper? It would just be reused.
No, you're fine, you can, good, thank you. You're
Yeah,
allowed.
I'm gonna just do italics remake.
Do you guys then question their plan at this
Okay.
time,
Huge
or
composting. Not
is
plants,
that-
but like maybe keep composting.
I think,
Are
I
those
think if there
required
are,
to
if
use
there are
as
like
compost? Not
questions,
like,
most of this
you know,
is so that
or
on
like
innovation
that,
night, they
that
have
way
scenarios
on
to
the
talk about,
like
so
plastic
we've
or
done some
recyclable
situational
or
planning in our
household
city.
households.
Got it.
This is
I don't
how
know
we
the way
would
that
What is that for?
build,
Big sponsor.
So we just not,
how we would
we just have
respond,
only
so.
2 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
So
we
we
don't want
need to
people
get
creating
rid of
more.
Yeah, so there's, okay, you got a minute, 50 seconds here.
But I think,
Is
yeah,
it for
for
waste management workers, or
We
you
haven't
can check lots of
Yeah,
do this,
that's really
like
hard.
how are you gonna raise it, what type of things are you
But I
gonna
think
do?
that we have to
Think
have it
that-
set up
so
cool.
that on
And I
innovation
think
night,
that area whole like,
Right.
Just start writing, just everybody get on this, if you have an idea, just put it down at the
would
bottom.
that be good? Alright.
minute and a half, make sure you have ideas down. I'm gonna ask to hear from you guys, just like a really quick synopsis of what it is
So
that
like,
you
for example,
thinking about.
It's green.
okay, and
Yeah,
then we
well.
should do like, we should have like, let's see, like,
And
the
we could use those
I
waste.
think I'll get rid of this one.
back and
Yeah.
And we should, we should do like.
Okay, I'll write that down.
So are we using all of these like in households or using one?
Whatever you take.
Feels like we're at the end.
I think that's what, like, anything that normally would be recycled, like, it through a waste management thing, it's gonna go there and be reused.
Okay, so we're not gonna have those special concerts that are, if they have access, we don't want that. Then for holidays and like some of the party. Just put it down.
Just put it down, no, don't need to hear about it, just put it down.
Talk later, do
So
now.
there's one piece there.
For, bands.
Divided in half.
Sure, we can have like.
No, glue stick. In and out.
10 seconds.
Okay, let's do that.
Yeah, and then this is from the quote. We can, and like,
All right, time is up. So we're gonna hear about what your solutions are. And what's important too is to listen to the other team, because they might give you insights that you didn't ever consider, which is one of the reasons why cities do this kind of planning, this kind of game stuff. So who goes first?
You just picked first. We'll let you go first.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
could you?
Alright, so we lost a sports team, which let us have an open stadium. There are 3 other stadiums in the city which have an attraction for sports venues. So we decided to dedicate this one just specifically for concerts. And so these concerts would be held, there would be concerts held once a week, mostly Saturday nights. And you would be paying a membership fee once a month to have tickets accessible to these concerts for as long as you would like. And then there would also be rows just accessible for people who wanted to pay like once for this concert. And then also for special holidays or for like humongous events, there's going to be large parties and there's going to be themed concerts. So it will definitely bring the coolness index of the city up, as well as a diversity of people flowing into the stadium. And the concerts, again, would be held at pretty much any age or any theme that would be accessible, obviously, for the city. And you want to keep it
Yeah, we'd also like politically urge the higher ups of the city to invite potential new teams to look at the city and real estate in our city to try and entice a different team to come in and fill that empty position of the missing sports team.
Where did you get this idea from?
Where did we get this idea from? Well, I looked at, we looked at like sports teams, like she looked at why the Raiders left and why I looked at like why the Sonics left Seattle.
Well, at first we were kind of trying to figure out what we could do to get the team back. Like maybe like bring these guys in and like have this like rebuilt or something. And then we went into like why don't we make it where the city's citizens aren't having their own football games and like there's like it would be really like citizen induced only. But then we were like we want to make a ton of money and be really resourceful and at the same time be really young and I think millennial and forward thinking.
Yeah,
So
we
we're
have
like,
to,
why
like-
don't we make it into a huge concert stadium?
We have to like pay off the stadium obviously because we built it. So bringing in like cool venues and people to come play for.
Yeah.
Is there any other place that does that kind of thing, like a season tickets, come watch the concert?
Fenway, right? Isn't-
I'm not sure.
Gillette does. I know Gillette does.
There's one in New Hampshire does too. They just did a $20 ticket sales. I'm going to see Beck for $20. You guys
So,
only know you.
one of the things for you guys, I think, to think about, right, and here's an important piece, right, this is almost like, this is like a check-in on the process, right? Part of your work will be to continue to fill out what your solutions look like, but one of the things I would challenge you guys to think about too is how does this new plan attract the business back, right? Because part of the card talks about businesses that are talking about leaving that are associated with it, so how are you gonna replace that economic element? So no need an answer right now, but something for you guys to think about as you build towards innovation night.
I have a question, Kyle. So all of the stuff we draw today, that like permanently affects our city for the rest of the project? Or like, it's just like for today and then when we go back, it's like, we don't affect it?
It's for you guys to be able to plan situationally for the sustainability fix
Okay,
it.
alright, so like we should include all this in our presentation,
Yeah.
like,
Yes,
look,
this
if
is-
this were to happen, we have a plan for it.
Yeah, you
like,
guys are saying we have scenario,
Okay.
we have
I
action
think
plans
these are
ready
just like
in case these scenarios
like
arise or similar scenarios.
things
Alright.
at the innovation.
All
Yeah,
right,
great.
these guys?
Did you guys have any questions for them? Just to have some dialogue.
Why did you guys limit it to one concert per week? If you have the space and that you're already paying for energy to run the stadium.
Well, because they're paying like a monthly fee. So like, wait, I'm confused.
Like if you have the stadium open like indefinitely, why would you limit it to one concert a week?
Well, like those are the concerts that you're being paid for to like you have access for. Like there's probably gonna be a ton of more like stuff being held there and stuff like that. But like if you're having, I don't know, if you're having to pay a fee, like that's a pretty good deal for 4 concerts, pretty much for only one fee.
For an example, the New Hampshire Bank Pavilion in Guilford, they started off with week-long concerts and now they filled in every slot, like Snoop Dogg, then Beck, then Slightly Stupid. I mean, it's just like bang, 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 day after day. But that's how you generate interest, is you have to start.
You have to
and
start
then-
somewhere.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good plan. It's a good question too.
They also tier their parking. You can stay overnight if you want,
Yeah.
so that you have different tiers for that space.
Since you guys are in Egypt and it's gonna be hard for artists to get there, who will you have performing there and who will be able to draw a crowd large enough to fill your stadium?
Pretty much well with tours. Like when artists go on tours after they release albums, that will obviously bring in a lot of fans who are really excited about their albums.
Snoop Dogg's going to Guilford.
Yeah, like I don't know, if you have that much money and if you're getting paid to go for like a venue and you're like gonna stay in a sick city and like we're providing you with like hotel space, with food, with like tours of the cities, like it would just be another cool travel opportunity. And then also it's a ginormous stadium and it's a highly populated city as well. So I think that it would just be another stop for people.
Do you think the membership cost would like offset having to pay for the stadium if you're paying to attract these artists, or do you think that would eventually add to your product?
Well, like not initially, obviously, and like I think it's all about like gaining traction amongst like people seeing success of like.
Yeah, like you gotta start somewhere, you know?
Yeah.
I think that's the only way that you can expand it.
All right, let's hear from the other group, right?
So our disruption was that the recyclable materials lose their value. So we came up with a lot of different ideas pretty quickly. So can we just like read off all the different stuff?
I feel like this person did it wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we our original idea, or one of our early ideas was for waste management workers, since one of the issues was them losing their jobs, that they could so we could turn them into processing glass into glass ball, or remaking paper, recyclable paper for our school systems, because we don't have to buy more paper. And then they also could be used to transport all that stuff and repairing the roads. And then the waste management areas and stuff, we could just retrofit to do all this stuff, and then that just replaces what is now worthless with something that we're actually using for the city.
And then, so we approached this problem, with our group, socially, environmentally, and, what is the, economically. So we came up with not just one solution, I don't know where to look.
You just talk to.
We came up with a ton of different solutions that would not only solve the problem, but try to be a pretty adaptable city, so not be stuck in the business of recyclables and stay there, so to be adaptable. So we also said that we would tax recyclable and trash usage from households, post a government kind of warning. They have those for droughts, so it would say something about lessening the usage. So if it exceeded a certain weight, we didn't have time to do calculations for what would be fair. Each week or month or whatever, there would be a small tax on that, because we would want to lessen our recyclable production. So anything that's not non-compostable.
So then what happens to that trash?
What do you mean?
What happens to the recycle?
Well, it would go into, it would go into glass vault, so the glass we would turn into glass vault.
Oh,
Paper we'd remake for our school systems, and then we have.
oh, so you're gonna localize this materials.
And then there's.
Okay, I missed that, sorry, I was coming in.
You can go.
So we had the idea that we can take the recyclables, glass bottles and stuff, and we can donate them to local artists to make sculptures throughout the city, and we can hold cash prizes for that. And it would also be cool to look at if we had a park all filled with sculptures that are completely recyclable.
And then to prevent this in the future, having less recyclables out there, so more things that are reusable, like metal water bottles, or reusable grocery bags, that keeps more recyclables and more trashable items out of the system.
A big thing that we're also doing is that we are banning selling plastic bottles and enforcing reusable bags. So you can bring plastic bottles into the city, but you have to start taking them out, and you can't buy them in the city. So we're trying to make it harder for more people to buy these materials. And then also, so plastic can be made into plastic lumber, lawn chairs, picnic tables, and playground equipment, and to get jobs back into it, that we can hire these people that are without jobs to make these new centers with playgrounds. And so there's many ideas that we have to.
Good. So you have examples of cities that say no to plastics?
Examples of cities?
Yeah.
Well, there's
In Sweden, they ban plastic bags.
But we're talking about other plastics too. What was the other plastic we said besides bags? Bottles.
bottles.
So what do we do instead? People will need their bottled water. You guys are in the Mediterranean. Imagine it gets hot there.
Yeah.
We have water fountains.
So you're gonna be
throughout the city.
pushing that?
Yeah,
Well,
we can just come up, or do you want an answer right now, or is this?
No, just
something
look,
to think about?
what I'm saying is that it's good to look and see what
Yeah.
cities
Yeah.
already do this.
Well,
There
a
are
lot of cities
sta-
now are putting up water fountains,
Yeah.
and then I know at Whole Foods they make you pay for, or at least at the Whole
You have to
Foods that I
pay
go,
for it?
you have to pay for plastic bags.
Yeah.
So it's
I see.
but then for it's whatever, 50 cents, but for $5 you can buy this reusable bag. So there's a lot more incentives.
Well, there are some cities out there that are doing zero waste planning and trying to get rid of single-use plastics and doing refillable stuff. For example, in Italy, some convenience stores, you can go and refill whatever bottle you have with whatever you want to put in it. You weigh it out, fill it with the product, weigh it, you pay for that weight in product, whether it's honey, peanut butter, kombucha tea, wine, or water. So you have so that's the thing, find
Yeah,
those
you want the
examples.
examples.
Well, I mean, that makes an investor excited when you go, this guy's done his own work. This isn't some lofty hippy-dippy hugger thing. This is a real idea. You know, and ideas are important, but when you ground them in places that have already had successes, then people feel secure in giving you some more money. Right? So this is good. Aren't you 3D printing stuff?
Yeah.
What is the 3D printed stuff made of?
For houses, it's concrete.
Okay.
So
I thought you maybe do plastic. Take care of the plastic issue.
yes, but yeah.
No, just saying. I kind of thought of that one, lobbying it towards somebody to think that direction too. That waste products, which you've done, waste products can be buildable products. It's good. You did a good job. Do you two have questions for them? Because they grilled you, grill them.
No, I think that you guys have really good multiple ideas.
Oh, you're giving them compliments.
It's true. Yeah, I thought that they answered it really well and elegantly too.
What happens when you don't have any more materials, if you've rid all the recycling, what about all those people who gave jobs? Once the playgrounds are built and once there's not recycling, what are you gonna do with all those people?
Well, I mean,
Phase out into a new
yeah,
industry.
every industry like dies
Yeah.
at some point. I mean, I don't know, like
Every
some-
industry dies out at some point?
at some point an industry will die. So
Not media.
I mean, if we
Not
run-
education.
if we're running out of plastic, I mean, we'll be able to see that coming, and we could probably figure out something else to do. But I mean, I'm not gonna be able to predict. what
It's
else.
also really hard to get rid of 100% of the plastic used. There's
Yeah.
obviously going to be some.
True.
So
The
Roads
jobs
have,
go down.
roads always have to be re-maintenance, playgrounds always have
Perfect.
to
That's
be
what I
down.
was
Yeah.
heading towards, like in Spain. They clean the streets every single night.
Yeah.
Someone comes out and cleans the streets every single night, hoses them down, sweeps them, empties the garbage cans. Imagine if they did that here.
All right, those were good jobs. We ready for round two? So you picked red, now we're picking.
Blue or green?
Okay, you guys choose. Who's going up? Oh, we're gonna put in your. So we're gonna put in a pile for Golden. This is Golden Cities stuff that they select from the other team.
Okay.
Is that
What if we're
here
doing blue now?
that they created,
Oh.
and then there's over there. That one over here. No, they created.
Let's see
So
it.
what are we choosing from?
You tell us. Was it gonna be blue or green?
Let's do blue. We're doing one and done.
All right, great.
It's okay, it's okay.
sorry
Oh,
guys.
jeez.
We can't pick from our own, right?
No, no.
TB epidemic spreads through the homeless population. TB has been spreading through the growing homeless population. Strains on medical clinics and shelters has been growing. Public health officials are struggling to contain the spread of the disease. After the death of 2 elementary students in City Central, the public fear and anger against the homeless population is at an all-time high. Earlier today, a homeless man was hospitalized after being assaulted by 2 men. According to police statements, the assault was aggravated due to fears of you guys. That's all you.
Why did you guys go so in depth?
Yeah.
Like you have like names.
So now I choose another one.
Because
Now
it's
you
fun.
choose
You need to be villains for a day.
See that?
Read yours now,
Let's
Ryan.
see what
Let's see
Ryan's
what-
got. Let's see what Ryan's got.
Let's go. A struggling creative class. Citizens of your city are complaining to local leaders about a lack of culture in the city. A recent government poll found that 44% of residents believe the city lacks any cultural identity. The creative class is struggling to find a meaningful foothold in society. A recent op-ed in a national newspaper referred to the city as the Philistine city.
Good luck.
Yeah, have fun.
Okay.
8 minutes, Simon?
8 minutes.
You good?
We don't pay for anything. We just
No.
figure out a way to
Good
do
job.
Yeah. Don't forget, city council members, you could be homeless too. The karmic wheel does
I
turn.
volunteer to leave.
Oh, we got mountains.
Yeah.
We got mountains. That's what you just described. You said put them away. You said I mean that's
We
no
have-
matter what, no matter what we
Quarantine
do.
would be a nice
We have a,
word.
yeah, that's what I said. Quarantine and then, but then if you really look at what
Your city does have to
putting a
follow
bunch
some
of
laws.
people away in
Remember, look it
Well,
up.
whoever
Look
gets
up
it,
and see
puts
what's.
them in the
see
mountains.
Our
what-
government's still
for
working though,
healing.
we don't have any human rights
for
laws
government
now.
healing.
The
If
UN
you get
does.
TB, you will go to the mountains for government healing.
Yeah.
Wow.
That sounds like.
No,
You did go out to South Dakota, didn't you?
I did go.
Proper
Yeah,
treatment,
exactly.
TB will fairly quickly not be infectious, and
So
you can go no longer.
This is the pilot lake.
Okay, there's two kids who died.
Yeah, that's why people are mad.
Those
That's
are
why
the
people are
big
mad.
ones.
Public
Yeah.
hearing anger against
Yeah.
Festivals.
Then they just get what they get, and then the other group's got.
Yeah, I don't know if
We got sick.
every
Hold on.
see infected people in the mountains.
Yeah, no, it should just be like, if you are sick,
What are we
you
doing
should,
with that?
you should have to leave the city.
You're gonna take kids away from their parents
No,
who are sick.
No, we have a hospital. We have,
Yes,
we have
see,
a hospital.
Literally just a mountain
And what
hospital.
we
Yeah,
did
it's
too
just
is like we
solution
said, we
vaccinate
just
the kids.
give them a couple cards.
That's true, we did say that, we
Yeah.
did say that we don't have, like,
Yeah.
you are
Yeah, that's right.
vaccinated, you
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
leave
And
the
then
city.
it's some sort of
Not
outside.
to mention, I think the good piece.
No,
But if you're
vaccinated in the city,
This is
Not
vaccination
residents,
is the first step in your
people
plan.
Yeah,
is like-
anybody can
like,
show up
like,
to the city, you don't have, you don't have.
Everybody-
No, but all the
Schools
schools
being
being
on
on
kids
kids
or-
They
How
don't
do you
need
do
to.
that?
Awful Coachella of.
Oh, in those
of-
vans?
Yeah.
Why don't we
Yeah.
just-
Being heard that.
All the
Yeah.
disruptions.
So we're gonna do
It's just like
health
full
promos
like
by
government
government.
sponsored
Yeah.
Coachella, so
We're
you
gonna
like
have
get
all
party,
these
there's like
campaigns.
Also,
there'll be
we
a
should
bunch
educate
of
people that do
celebration
not like.
of like
He's having a whole
of,
issue.
Okay, let's write this down. Education.
of just like
Um,
art celebration
okay.
or
How are we
just
doing?
In a hospital in the mountains, a happy.
No,
Yeah,
it's
you
cute.
can say that.
Well, dude, you don't really die from tuberculosis.
But
treated
You
unless
can
it gets
die
high.
from
Treated
tuberculosis.
Yeah, hold on, this makes no, there's like, it's the 21st century, people still, the kids still die of tuberculosis, like.
It's,
in
it's
a
actually,
developed
it's
area.
actually a real problem
Camera, you
in
behind
prison
the camera.
systems, and it's happening in the Soviet,
Yeah.
sorry, in Russia.
Yeah.
We're
So-
not in
so-
Russia.
But,
No,
no, I
you're
get
not
the
in
question,
America.
I get the question, I do
HAFL,
understand.
because
It's just- it's-
our city
it's-
name is
if
in
we just-
Arabic,
okay,
and our
so-
city name is Madinat al-Habab, which means the golden city in Arabic. And
So, we're
so
testing
we're
your
using,
social fabric
Yeah.
and how it's
Hoffel, which would be
connected
like
to
the
medical
Coachella
issues.
of our
Yeah.
Which
city.
has to
Okay.
be-
We'll be
And the
like
market for
seven-day government sponsored event and to support the artists,
you're
draw
really sick.
That's what I'm
people to the
saying.
city,
I
and
want to see
fill the hotels, and we can use our
It's not
empty
like we're
stadium.
shipping off to the
But
mountains.
also
There's
need
a
to have
hospital in the
Yeah.
mountains.
But that is the people in it.
Yeah, but we're
There's people that wear gas masks.
No, I know. That is what affects everybody in a and what do they do whenever there's an outbreak? Get everybody who's sick away from it. It's perfect. I was trying to be fun.
Do you need a media person?
Oh, yeah, do we wanna film all this?
We have a quarantine.
Give me a phone.
You need some
They're
PSAs.
like crushing this.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's got it
So
already?
look, oh
We
yeah,
have a quarantine center right here.
oh, in the farmland, not the farmland, what if somebody gets out, yeah.
Sorry, in months, take care of them in the mountains.
So,
Yeah.
having mandatory vaccinations for all
Yeah.
kids means that.
We're
less
huge
kids
health
are-
campaign.
And
It's
to
all
deal
Or you
related
can
to
walk and then go
education.
through the center
Send people
of like
into
the CBD
the
and
homeless.
that draws people to
Yeah.
shop.
Okay.
To make sure that no one's sick.
Someone who already has TB, so no one else getting infected.
No, but someone that's,
They're given,
that mass
they're
problem.
given
No,
medical
I'm
treatment.
Yeah, we can have taxpayers pay for medical treatment.
We have unlimited people, we're just paying for
Yeah,
it.
we do have unlimited money.
Okay, just throw it down in the dock.
Yeah,
Like
alright,
crazy.
this seems good, yeah, so
Like,
mandatory vaccine.
somehow represent.
Also remember that you're doing these scenarios to show your investors that you've designed a city that is resilient to
Yeah.
survive
Yeah.
all sorts of different catastrophes.
So we have
It's
a
a
problem.
spa in the mountains.
There will be,
Well, I don't know
there
why
will
you're
be
trying to
anything
make it,
on
it is a
vacation, not
hospital.
everything's free.
We need to make it a hospital. We
It's a
do need to make
quarantine.
it a hospital.
It's
Alright.
spot.
Do you even have a hospital?
No, but okay,
I mean, that's part of the reason why I challenge.
Now we've lost.
Right, right.
I
That's
think we
why
should have
put
one in
it
the
up.
mountains for quarantine people and then one in the city center.
So we can do a more serious doctor-y stuff,
Yeah,
goes
yeah,
on in the
right.
mountains, not like,
Um,
oh no, like my kid broke his arm, like.
And we're holding a
Yeah.
ceremony for the kids.
And I think we should have a,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
What's it
Yeah.
called?
For all ages.
Well, we have to
Where's the walking?
Oh, yeah,
track?
shut down the school district, shut down the schools.
Alright,
Okay,
we have a
that's,
walking
um,
clinic in each district.
Oh, we're having a parade. We're having a little parade.
Walking clinics,
Walking.
But
where we
also-
can do vaccines for
Okay,
homeless.
write it down, write it down, write it down. And then we can have like a thing where we like, we do a day of remembrance or something, where like we shut down the city.
I don't know.
Not
A
shut down the
city's
city,
too
but,
big. A
no,
city's
no,
too-
no, but
Yeah,
it's more in the social fear.
I feel like a city's too big.
Well,
to
this
shut
is
down.
Not shut down city, but like maybe we said close down the city.
Yeah, well, we should.
Every kid
The
has.
schools have. Yeah, the schools need to be closed.
For a day. And then we
2.5
have a little
minutes.
like
So what do
high school.
Yeah. We need to like get out a mascot for the vaccines, like.
You didn't screw yourself with PBL.
Feel like you got some successes going?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we do.
Yeah, hold on.
Okay.
Let me draw the vaccine mascot.
This
I mean, you already had some of the creative problem.
I think it's just really
Again,
important
with,
on
the
taxpayers
sports
to pay
industry
for
is.
this medical system.
and
So
then-
the government
We can
doesn't,
use
they
this
don't have.
up taxes, it's like.
Oh, can't wait.
It's
It's great. The investors are gonna love it.
That's
Yeah.
why I wrote that on the, and make sure no one has TB. They, and if they do, they send them to the quarantine area and they make sure.
Yeah, also, like, also,
If we,
I think
so when
that
we
for
close
me
the
to
schools, we gotta test all the kids for TB.
I think we can do
If you
that.
have tuberculosis, I'm sorry, but you're going away. I hate to phrase it, but you have to, no, it's like,
No, it's not like they're
going
away. It's like you're not. It's like a wind fast train right there.
Yeah.
oh, in the train, okay, no, so seriously, it is just like, go get yourself fixed,
Yeah.
you don't have an issue. It's not sick, it's like normal society.
Yeah.
Just sounds really
The government just
Yeah.
sends it bottom.
It sounds bad.
Yeah.
People won't show up to your
Down
vacancy.
until
Like, no
you
one-
can't
I
burn
think
it
you
down.
can really shut down homes. So like you can't like this. You do what you need to do is you basically you have to put stuff out. Like you have to put stuff out. Like all right, if you are homeless and like, need medical attention, go here. And then like people can be out looking for people. Walk. That kind of idea with walking clinics, like just places where people can.
I got that in there.
If you offer free well, I don't know what would take it. Yeah.
No, because they're
Yeah,
crazy.
I guess like. No.
What?
I don't know. I think I feel like I'm video because like
Yeah.
we don't just
hate
have a bottomless pit.
No, and
Millions of people are gonna show artists are gonna show up and like.
Also,
I'm fine with this idea.
No. I'm just saying like you can't expect artists to show up with like little to nothing like. Expect
30 seconds.
I'm saying,
That's the thing. It's gonna start with you paying. You're putting in. This is an investment.
they're out.
Yeah, no, I know.
Their immune systems are whacked.
Wait, I wonder how much.
If they have like a quarantine hospital, why not just make it also?
Yeah.
Right next to it. In the mountains,
What is-
too.
what's
Beautiful.
this?
We give them an entire house.
Literally
Beautiful in the
Like, I'm
mountains.
gonna go for a walk and then.
I gotta go.
Can I get a drink?
Yeah.
Three, 2, 1. Alright, so, once again, we'll just hear a quick synopsis of your argument. We'll start with, Kubabango, Cababango, Copacabana, whatever it is. And then you guys, PJ and Ryan, you ready to ask questions
Golden
about,
City.
their, tuberculosis epidemic? So, when you guys are ready, give us a little bit of a rundown.
We're gonna have hospitals in the just like quarantine areas in the mountains where all the infected people can go and to heal, and then they won't be infecting other people. And then we're also gonna have mandatory, or not mandatory, but like walking clinics with with vaccines just like on deck. And so the homeless, it's gonna be free because we can do that in our city because we care about our people.
We
encourage
taxpayers to pay for this vaccine for the homeless people, so
Another
that it doesn't
tax?
Yeah,
spread.
we're gonna manipulate their social fear and anger and turn it into a source of revenue for our city.
Oh my.
But we're also making
Okay.
sure that people within the school system and the workplace are.
I just have a very basic question. I like where you're going. I just have to jump in here.
Yes,
You're moving contagious individuals to the mountains.
yes.
How?
Our
Very, it's,
electromagnetic.
so you know what the British did with all their kids during World War II?
No.
Oh my
How they
God.
put them all on trains and like sent them away so they wouldn't get killed in London.
Okay.
It's not like we're like taking kids from their families
it's
and
like a
sending away
hospital.
forever. Yeah, they're just going to the
So
hospital.
you'll have
for-
people
It's a
medical.
quarantine hospital. Oh, yeah, no, it's
Okay.
literally.
It's a hospital.
I'm just afraid of spreading the contagion.
No,
So we're
putting-
moving it away from,
Okay.
yeah. And then
Right,
another
detail,
thing
sorry.
is that homeless people, if there's social, mental things, so we're sending government people that are, in mass and oxygen into these communities, make sure that if you are contagious, that you're not spreading it to other people.
they will take them up to the hospital and get them treatment. And also, we'll have it'll also double as a rehabilitation center. So if they're on drugs, they can get clean and they can come back, and they're not addicted to drugs, and they're not spreading tuberculosis.
Okay.
And furthermore, we're gonna hold a ceremony for the deceased children and have an annual day where we close schools and we promote education about TB and vaccinations and the importance of it. And then with maybe like a parade or something to like kind of aid or like decrease the social disruption, so that also people don't see like the government as like or the government or the homeless population as like the
Enemy.
yeah, enemy. That's the word.
And
And they realize it's just kind of like,
to deal with the school part, we are going to shut down the school and test every kid to make sure that no one still has tuberculosis.
and also we're gonna have somebody going into homeless populations, like known homeless regions of the city, and test for TB.
And are there any examples of this, of cities dealing with outbreaks of any sort, as long as it's
Well,
contagious, that you
if
can
you
back
look at-
this up?
If you look at the,
It sounds expensive.
If you look at the Ebola thing,
Yes.
that was very expensive, but it was like funded by the UN. Like if it's a big enough deal, obviously outside sources will fund it. And they did the same. Like they didn't necessarily have hospitals because they didn't have the time to build a bunch of hospitals. If preemptively we have a hospital, they could put them there, but they just like quarantined everybody and tested everybody
Right.
that they didn't think was sick, and that's how they
Right.
were able to-
That's an excellent point, because part of this city design is creating the infrastructure to deal with this problem. Unlike some other places that haven't been able to keep their hospitals up to date, they're having issues. And of course, Ebola is an extreme,
Yeah.
a tougher entity. It's unknown. There's no cure. Go
I
ahead.
know in my hometown there's a nonprofit that goes into this one community of where it's under like this massive bridge, and they set up, it's a group of doctors, they set up tents and they vaccinate or they treat. So if it's medication so there's many different types of.
We can call ourselves doctors with borders.
Yeah. Good. Do you have questions for them? That was good.
Yeah. I looked up how much it costs for a TB vaccine, and this website says, this is a government website, says if targeted at infants, blah blah blah, million TB cases could be prevented at $1,692, with about $20 per dose. So just like, if you're just saucing out like,
Yeah, well, so to start, we don't even have 1 million people in our city, so I don't think the cost is gonna be that high. And again, we're hoping to get like outside funding from like the UN or whatever if this is true, if it's bad enough that people are dying and we can find ways to get donations or something. I mean, it's not like we're gonna be a city with our tail between our like, oh, we need money to pay for our vaccines, but like if it's like a serious medical emergency, I don't think it might be a pressed issue.
We have taxes for a reason, and also, doesn't our city have unlimited funding?
Yes.
Well, you were trying to get your city developed.
Yeah.
At some point, the city has to sustain itself, right?
So
It's not an unreasonable question, but the thing is, it's important is that you're preparing for these possible issues for your city. So you don't get caught off guard and you have a collapse or you're having,
We could potentially have like I don't know if this is attainable, I'd have to do some research, but like pre-purchased like vaccinations for, like on large scales for like major diseases that would like crush our city. So that at least we can get treatment started immediately if we have any outbreaks.
anything else from Golden City or
I have
Ethne?
a question, or well, I have something to say. Okay, so, the last time you also, went back on your taxes as well, and you said if this problem were to occur, like, we'd tax people. Well, since there's a lot more than just, like, these kind of problems going on, and if there were a lot more outbreaks of this or another, ecological problem, would you continue taxing people? Because in the whole scheme of things, that can be very frustrating for your people in the city and could cause a lot of backlash.
Especially for the
Somebody
homeless.
would rather
Yeah.
pay
population.
tax than have their life threatened with a disease.
No, I'm just saying, like.
But like if
that's
it
just a
continued to
question.
accumulate over time, then you'd have
Yeah.
ridiculous taxes.
We're
Yeah.
gonna have a fund in our city for health.
keep in mind, right? I also, keep in mind, we don't need to have an answer at this moment, as much as it is good to take that and say, okay, we need to look at how we are gonna raise money within our city to manage health crises, to manage public works, those types of things, right? So don't feel like you need to have the answer at this moment, as much as maybe it's, all right, we're gonna record that so we can come back to that, because investors might have the same question, right?
Alright, we can talk about ours now. We're very
Did
excited about
Anthony,
it.
did you have any comment? Because you had your hand up at one point.
I did.
Okay,
Yeah, I was curious about the taxes.
yeah, okay,
People
We could
keep
re-
getting taxed.
We can regulate it.
okay.
And then what are you gonna do? People are gonna be like, oh, I don't wanna go there, I don't wanna live there, those people on TV.
Or
Rid of the
homelessness.
stigma.
Yeah.
And the homelessness.
People still live in LA. And
Yeah, no, I know,
It's
I know.
true. And San Francisco has a big problem with it too.
All right, talk to us
everywhere.
about,
Alright, so
Go ahead.
Creative class.
our detail was that people are coming forward and saying that there's a lack of culture identity in our city. And immediately right off the bat, we were thinking, why not do something that portrays to Mardi Gras, or like a ginormous citywide party or a celebration of art, food, culture, and music. And so for a week long, we're gonna be hosting a celebration of art and culture and music and food. And it's gonna be called the
Sticking to the Arabic theme, Mahrajan, which roughly translates to party or festival, and it would be a government-sponsored Coachella type event where everybody dresses up, everybody goes crazy, and then we strategically, with our brand new empty city from our sports team leaving, that would be the main hubbub of all our events, to fill that area and fill the hotels around it, and then we place different events at different times across the city in our different stadiums, which would allow traffic on our public transit and foot traffic to go. Our stadiums are located in the corner of our cities, so having our events there would allow foot traffic to go through our CBD and our main business districts, allowing people to shop in our businesses and our consumer services, bringing more money into our economy and our businesses in our city. And then since it's a multiple day event, people can stay in our city at the hotels.
a statistic that I'd like to bring into the play is there was a study conducted by Tulane and on Mardi Gras, and the 2014 season had directed an economic impact of $164 million. Not only that, but the study found that both the indirect and indirect was around $465 million. And then the visitors spent around $7 million on local hotels, and also an cumulative of $61 million in total for food, drink, and transportation. So it would be an original investment for the first time that we'd have the original Mardi Gras. That would become, again, coming from our government. But then after a cumulative amount of years, it would be part of our culture, part of like our city, and it would be bringing in a huge amount of revenue, and it would be very successful, but also promoting artists, and also promoting things that is individualistic to our city. So I think overall it's a very strong event that's going to be hosted, and I think that like with parties in the streets and like festivals and parades and also concerts, I think that it would be incredibly powerful.
Questions from the group? Go ahead, Alex.
Would you mimic like the no open container law of like New Orleans?
No, everyone goes wild.
Yeah.
It
It's
is open.
I meant that,
Yeah.
Yeah,
how
yeah.
they don't follow that.
Yeah. No, I mean it's supposed to be a time where you're celebrating people and celebrating how extraordinary
Yeah.
different cultures, and
Yeah,
also
you can charge a lot for booze.
yeah, that's a big industry.
Would you
Is that allowed in Arabic countries?
It's allowed in ours. I'm kidding. Well, cities can have different laws, correct?
Absolutely. I
Yeah,
mean,
so
I'm
I
just
think
putting that
that-
out there. If you're in
Yeah.
an Arabic region, you're going to have Muslims. It might be important to think about their money as
Yes.
well, and maybe they're not into drinking, Just
Do
saying.
you guys have cars in your city?
but they could still be into like
The
jazz.
trains that you guys have.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And like, would this create a concern where people would only come to your city for that week and then desert it afterwards?
Like no, because think about it. The cultures and the things that you're celebrating during that week are something that attain to our city. So it's like it highlights it just during that week, but also like you can come throughout the whole entire year and go to these same restaurants, go to these same businesses, go buy this art from these certain artists. It's part of like a celebration of promoting these people and promoting our city as well. So
Has anybody here been to Montreal in the summer?
yeah, but not during.
They have week-long
Not so.
festivals all summer long, different themes.
Yeah.
Cool. What's our time looking like, Kyle?
It is 3:02.
I was just saying.
So I almost wonder if it's worth just getting them one last one, so they can get a couple of ideas down. We won't present it today, but just to have it, because
Let's do it. Let's do an environmental one.
we should go through an
Just do
environmental.
environmental.
Just do one environmental.
Should we just grab it?
Yeah, why don't you just go up there and just grab, first one to grab it,
First
just
come,
really,
first
first
served.
one you grab.
Just grab it.
Oh, what am I doing?
Just grab it.
Red tide bloom. A blossom of red tide has plagued your coastline for the last 2 months. Thousands of fish and dolphins have washed up on the shore. Tourism and fishing activities have come to a halt. Health concerns are mounting. Local businesses associated with coastal activities are closed. An emergency meeting of the city council has been called.
Okay.
You don't have, you can just talk about it. We don't.
It already.
Browsing ideas
Listen,
this year.
listen to Ryan's though, might be something you, to think about. Go ahead.
Okay, we have a drought. Precipitation rates have been well under the average for almost 2 years. Mountain snowpack depths are well under the 50-year minimum. These determine the recharge rate of your surface and groundwater reservoirs. Surface water levels have had noticeable declines. Current forecasts do not look good. The drought continues for another 6 months. Experts fear that agriculture and water reservoirs will not be able to keep up with the demand. City officials plan to generate strategies to address water supply concerns.
So let's give you guys, take about just the last few minutes of class right now to get a few ideas down. We're gonna have to present out, but this is a good place for you guys to kind of wrap up and have some ideas ready to go.
It's from
There,
man-made
with problems with
contribution,
water.
so too much is leaking. So like, I
Basically,
mean, I guess there's
publicly
nothing
shame
we can
people who use
to
too much
like
water. So
prove it, like that's not really an option,
So
just like go back
what
in time.
we would do
for
is,
that,
like,
but
they
I
were,
do think,
remember we
like,
read this for
for
Yeah,
like, for
no,
the
we
future,
did.
that
I
should
do
be-
remember
this
that.
is where
Yeah.
we this
What
Wait,
causes
what's
a
this
red
Look at
tide?
It's
Mason.
I would, but like, can we like go back in time and like
Columbia.
ban that, or just like it's,
Remember,
public water
this is
use
practicing
should be-
preventing future problems.
okay, so.
We're taking a
Yeah.
scenario, but
Yeah.
what if?
So
But it's
we-
not
we-
actually, what if?
Fertilizers, yeah, it is certain fertilizers.
We
Because
wrote
our
off
fertilizers
aren't
are
they
like-
so far?
It is,
Yeah, but
but
it's
we need to make sure our farmland is connected to the rivers, it's right
Yeah.
there.
And
So we would need to
Also,
come
like,
up with like.
Diversity is based off the fact that our waterfront is like.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
so
we
it's
just need
Do we
Yeah,
just
it doesn't
give
go
each
away.
team
So we need to
Oh,
find a
water
way, we
towers.
need to find a way to,
disruptions for them?
we need
So
to find a
we
way to
regulate
prevent,
what
like
sections
fixing it
use
isn't
those water
realistically an
public
option, because you
machines.
can't, you'd have to get every single part of the
Oh.
problem.
That sounds awful.
It
So-
works.
Like preventing it,
And
well,
then-
with
Well, we have unlimited funds.
so the way it started was river runoff in Southwest Florida with a large amount of nutrients in the
Those-
waters, which fueled it. So
Oh.
How did you increase the level?
wall it in, it's not bad.
Well, we
It's
talked
there.
about, it's one of our
Maybe
main
you guys.
practice, reading
Which
sections on how
Yeah,
maybe
hold on.
publicly
Put them on the
shame
document so you
people who
guys
use too
can
much
get
water.
brainstorm
I'll leave it.
So we're gonna publicly shame people.
Yeah.
And
Kind of say.
Have you heard about Las Vegas?
Do we need to have all these answered
They
for
run
the
a-
presentation?
Good, it's for the investors, right? So you guys
There's
just-
all this great culture, creative culture, gambling culture. And one of the things that they did is
So
they
what-
said to
whatever-
the residents, no more laws.
Whatever
We'll
we
give you
think.
break.
they did that in math.
Okay, so hey, when we answer these,
Do it in
just
Las
once
Vegas,
we don't have to
North
answer
Carolina,
every single one, just
we'll
once
give you
we think that
tax
like
break,
show them those
incentive.
that like we're a city.
Take them all
Well, that's what I was
out
just
to
gonna say.
put in just natural
Whatever,
cactus
like whatever
stuff.
stuff,
And so
you
you,
could donuts,
yeah, you can create incentives where they,
Hey,
you're
remember,
lowering the
it's not bad.
demand, helping out the
Remember to
city.
keep
Here,
looking up
take a little bit
what
of money,
places have done
thank you
fast.
very much.
Because your
We'll pay for your
strongest
new
tool
or
is to
something
say,
like that.
this is
And
what's
this is
worked,
pretty effective.
and to use that.
Could I say
Well, I was gonna say, whatever, like, we'll just,
Like,
we
okay.
can regulate which
That-
section of the
if
city
that
uses the
direction
most water,
towards
and
response,
then just like have it
Right.
public,
So-
like this section, section X
It
is
might not
closed,
even be-
section
No,
Y
it might not
is
be-
leased,
Well,
section
from
Y
AP
is
environmental
be-
science, who's the biggest industries
You
using
can filter it,
agriculture.
because you can just filter the
Yeah.
runoff water.
But, like,
You know waste is
and then
lower
that
that
goes
use,
to
right, from class, right?
I don't think you can
give me one technology.
Why didn't you choose cement?
We can, like drip
This is a toughie, but
Drip irrigation. You do rain catchment.
We should just-
Send it again, top catchment. Talk about
That doesn't
design
answer the
city,
question.
incorporate this in life.
So what is
collect
that?
water.
No, it doesn't,
You're
I
done.
mean, you have to make
Collects
presentation.
I know.
water.
So, well, okay, we like know what it's gonna be.
There's this season, it's smaller ones where we have a.
Yeah.
You see,
Yeah,
go
figure it
down,
out.
like, see how they all goes in the spring,
Cracking down.
different spots.
So you guys are aware, Monday, Tuesday are our last two blocks, and the idea is that you
And
guys
you've
come in,
increased your
you
water
need to
supply, so
do,
let it
finish up your final draft of
Think
the
about your
map,
city
right,
landscape.
but also prepare the presentation.
Yeah.
In your
And that
landscape.
is share a little bit of the process, but also talk about
Here's the
why
one
you
thing,
guys
these are the
why you
ones
guys
that
are
are
ready
ready to
to,
be. And so
have
we're
your
gonna let you
seat
keep them and look at them
How
as
long
you
is
start
the-
to
how
do
long is the
final
presentation?
stuff. Kind of something to think about.
check what we have
Obviously,
in the
we're gonna
presentation, but
one of
there's
them.
two parts to innovation.
Are we
These are good
presenting
problems that maybe I
class or
thought
is
of
there any-
when city designers,
So
city
in like each group
constructs
is up in
that
front.
may make you
So
stronger.
the way
and
that
your
innovation
investors
is gonna work
are
is gonna
willing
be two parts.
unleash
Part
$100
one's gonna be the
billion
science fair,
or a
either at
billion
the table,
towards your.
model.
What
You
time
can
is
come
it, by the
by
way?
maybe 6.
So we, red tide, so you guys figured out like the source of it.
But actually,
So that's good.
Venezuela.
Like, so I read, it started in Florida,
in Venezuela now.
Yeah.
A house that cost like X amount of whatever 10 years ago is how much you can buy a banana for now.
These guys,
Why?
Because
All of these.
Venezuela.
no
Because
ways
what's
to
the-
prevent
What's
water
the
runoff from
yeah.
getting into
But
the.
he basically, their solution to being
Oh,
poor
right,
was
you
to
can
just
use,
print more money.
like,
That's
trees
not
for-
how it works.
Yeah.
Do all sorts of
And
education.
cover crops.
Yeah.
Absolutely, and if you make that part of your city plan, this problem of red tide is less likely to be,
And
threatening
also,
them right to
you
deal
could,
with,
you
right?
could also redirect water into like other areas, but yeah, we
Yeah.
should just like we can prevent like the soil. Okay, so what do we wanna, so we're gonna say,
Literally the same
you know,
thing.
And you all sorts of other firming processes too, right? You know these.
Of course.
Like I was
There's no difference.
There's literally
funnel almost. and
Yeah,
then
but the water-
a pond in the middle. That pond is.
That's a good
There's
piece.
zero difference. It's zero.
yeah, no, what you said,
No,
we can just do like
pump water out of their water across.
There's zero difference.
Good job, you guys.
Yeah, let's just, why don't we just go with what we know works, that's what they want us to do. That's what they want us to do.
That's an excellent, those are both human
You guys
beings.
will do that?
Alright,
No.
you guys, so, here's what you guys need to think about. You should have in your document, you should have down the disruptions so that you can have plans and work on them over the weekend. On Monday we meet, on Tuesday we meet, Tuesday evening you got innovation night. So Monday and
What time does
Tuesday
the
class,
business start?
I think it's 6 o'clock, 6:30.
You need to be there 6, set up, that'll be the informal part of it. Maybe 10 minutes earlier is good too.
Right.
That way you and your team can discuss who's doing what and kind of relax and feel the vibe as it mounts.
time is our,
So you gotta be ready to present,
4:30 to
and
5:30.
you gotta be able to present, and also have your maps ready for Monday, Tuesday next week. We're gonna work on that. So make sure you're working on disruptions over the weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Rock on, good job, guys.
Thanks, guys.
It's really fun.
If you want to,
We'll put it back.
Kyle.
You should take that and bring it
Yeah,
back here.
may we please grab a
You take it away? You gonna take it?
See
Yeah.
play? No.
we
Wee wee.
It's
Thank
true.
you. That was
All right.
fun. I enjoyed that.
In.
oh, up on your toes.